Real quick, let's go over a couple ways that you can clean old Acoustic Research speaker badges or other brands' metal speaker badges from back in the 60s, 70s, or even more recent than that. A few of my favorite ways to clean them are with sandpaper, with a magic eraser, or with a fiberglass jewelry touch-up brush, which is really great for getting out scratches and that sort of stuff that's a little deeper that you need to kind of touch clean up to, especially on these brushed aluminum badges, or in this case I think these are brushed brass. The jewelry brush really helps with just spot touch-ups and that sort of stuff, whereas the magic eraser is more for cleaning. Sandpaper will get you a nice flush, just clean if you want to do the whole thing, but if it just needs a little touch-up, then the jewelry brush is a really great option. So usually the magic eraser is only good for cleaning up dirt and oils and that sort of stuff off of the badge. But if there's any deep pitting or corrosion, kind of like we have here, you can see it doesn't really do that much. You can really lean into it and it'll take some dirt off, that sort of stuff, but it's not actually going to polish the badge very well. And so I like to start with a magic eraser, but then move on to sandpaper if it doesn't seem like it's cleaning it up. Usually that's pretty obvious. You can just kind of pick which one you want to do. Obviously sandpaper is going to be a little more rough on the metal, but the nice thing about sandpaper is that when you rub the whole badge on it, the indentation where the paint is actually on the Acoustic Research logo and the model number is not going to be damaged. And that's part of the reason that I like just flat sanding these, because it's going to give you a nice flat finish and you don't have to worry about like rubbing the paint off if you're using a magic eraser or the jewelry brush, which we'll get to later. But as you can see, it polishes up really nice. It looks really good. And the jewelry brush is great for spot touch-ups. As you can see here, there's a couple pretty bad spots on the badge. And so if you just want to clean up a little area on something, this fiberglass jewelry brush is going to work great. It does a good job at just polishing through anything, kind of like the sandpaper. It's basically the same. The only difference is that it's just in one area. And so if you want to have a flat sand, a flat finish on the whole badge, then just kind of dragging it across sandpaper is still going to be your best bet, but the jewelry brush does a decent job. Using the 1500 grit gives you a really smooth polished finish, but if you want that more brushed aluminum or brushed brass look, 400 grit is going to be better. You can just pull it straight along and you'll see that it just leaves a nice kind of more thicker brushed finish look on the metal, but you just need to make sure that you pull it straight along the sandpaper, because if you pull it at an angle, it's just going to brush at an angle. So you can just kind of lay your sandpaper on a flat surface like I have here and then just pull the badge along with it. That's the easiest way. These are kind of just the methods I found for cleaning these up. You can also use a brass finish oil if you want to keep them from corroding again or whatnot, just to keep them clean, but this will keep them clean for a long time. And I just used a little bit of magic eraser or a cloth to just wipe off any dust or dirt that's left afterwards. And you can get a really nice fresh finish on these without damaging the paint that's embossed into the actual metal. If you do want any more tips or you want to follow along for more vintage audio information, feel free to subscribe or leave me a comment below if you have any questions.